Council meeting call to order. Councilmember Chapman.
Here.
Councilmember Clayton.
Here.
Councilmember Kendall.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
And other participants in the meeting I'd like to recognize are City Manager Donna Viero, City Attorney Frederick Ruffetto, and Assistant City Manager Michael Manzella. We will now have a silent prayer, a moment of reflection. We will now salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As to comply with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. The annual notice was forwarded to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and the Star Ledger on January 7th, 2020, and posted on the bulletin board the same date. All notices are on file with the city clerk. I would just like to make an announcement regarding the meeting times moving forward. All virtual meetings of the City of Asbury Park Council will begin at 6 p.m. until further notice. Executive session meetings will be scheduled for 5 p.m. We are now on to matters from the council.
Hi, this is Chapman. So I'd like to just tell everyone about a new organization in Asbury Park. It's the Asbury Park Mutual Aid Network. And several people have come together to form this organization. And they provide recipients in need with help in various ways. So they'll pick up groceries or prescriptions, they'll check in on the elderly, provide social support, pet care, share some specialized skills, and really kind of do what people need them to do within reason. And you have an opportunity to sign up to be a part of this, or you can reach out to them if you have a need that you need help with. So it's Asbury Park Mutual Aid at gmail.com or 732-660-8665. And I also just need to once again thank our first responders, healthcare workers, essential workers, all the volunteers and organizations that are helping those in need, and all the members of our community who are doing the best everyone can to keep social distancing, wear masks, and try to keep our numbers down. And that's all I've got for now. Take care.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes, the Asbury Park Police Department wishes to thank everyone that participated in their food drive on Saturday. And they will be distributing food throughout the city. And I just want to echo something. Things are getting better, but they're not perfect. We're not out of the woods yet. So it's really important that we continue to practice social distancing and wearing our masks when in public. Thank you, and thanks to everyone that's been so wonderful here in the city.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes. This past week, I've been getting a lot of telephone calls, mostly from the people from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Avenue has been stopping over, asking me questions about their taxes and asking me questions about when the city is going to open. And I try to reopen, and I try to give them the best advice to just trust your councils, and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. But I also say call our city manager, and maybe she can give you more information than I have. But I just don't want them to think that I'm just ignoring them. So I hope you're not thinking that, but I do the best I can. And if you really need something, if you're not satisfied with what made, to call the city manager. Is that all right with you, Donna? Thank you.
Absolutely, Councilman. Absolutely.
All right.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yeah, hi. So I just want to do a couple of announcements. Just reiterate that we have the free ride for Asbury Park residents when they are going to either a grocery store or a doctor's appointment. And I want to give a huge thank you to Beatrice from Community Resource Center, who continues, even in the pandemic, in encouraging people and thinking outside of the box with getting people to fill out their census. And to reiterate again, and I know we send email blasts about this and bring it up any chance we can, the census is so important for funding purposes and to ensure that we don't lose representation or funding. So if you haven't filled out your census, please fill it out. If you need help filling out your census, please call the city and we will find somebody who will help you do it. We are only at 43% participation with our census. And our goal, and certainly Beatrice's goal, is to get at least to 60%, if not higher. So I just want to, really strongly, again, suggest and encourage people to fill out their census. Yesterday, the governor talked about contract tracing and these jobs that have become available. It's on the newjersey.gov website, but if you can't find it, reach out to somebody on the council and we will send you the information. These are pretty well-paying jobs. And even if you decide you may want to decline later, why don't you sign up now and get some information on it? And the my last point is the Asbury Park dinner table continues to do an amazing job in Asbury Park, including providing food for Robinson Towers, Lumley, and Comstock. So I just want to acknowledge the continued amazing work that Kathy, Julie, Joe, Allie do for the Asbury Park dinner table and what they have initiated to ensure that our seniors in Asbury Park get food. That's it.
Okay. Mayor Moore?
Yes, thank you. Again, I continue to ask anyone that goes outside, please wear a mask. We cannot enforce that, but do it for yourself and do it for everybody else. It's key to us flattening this curve and getting on with their lives. So again, please wear a mask if you're outside. Every day I watch the governor's press conferences, and I'm hoping where he and his staff every day walk in and exit wearing masks, and he makes a pledge that public health gets us economic health, and he says data determines dates. I hope that it's going to be consistent and the state does not rush anything because of traditional date in an abnormal year. It is not the time to do crazy things. I didn't know if Donna was going to announce this, or I was. Obviously, we didn't prearrange this. So we were going to announce a plan tonight as far as the beaches, the boardwalk, and everything. In the last 2 days on many conference calls with the governor himself, we feel confident. We're not confident. We feel certain that he's probably going to announce something tomorrow, Thursday. So it made no sense for us to announce something tonight and then we have to pivot and change things because we, again, do not have guidance as far as the state, as far as when he opened the parks, he said 50% parking. When he opens the beaches, we don't know if he's going to limit it to how many people. When he does parking, we don't know what we're going to do. So as soon as we get that guidance, Asbury Park, and believe me, we have like 10 contingency plans that we have been working on since day one. But to announce something tonight would be premature just because we know something's going to happen tomorrow to the best of our knowledge. With that, again, I wish everybody safe health, be safe, and just bear with us. We're doing the best we can. I thank you all.
City Manager?
Thanks, Melody. Good evening, everyone. Just to echo what the mayor has said, we are in a position to make some announcements regarding the beach and the boardwalk as soon as we get guidance from the governor. We just ask that when we do make these announcements that people do remember that we still are at social distancing. And if and when we open our boardwalk, we really, really encourage everyone to wear masks and to keep their 6 feet away from each other. Just a bit of information, for the past couple of meetings that we've been doing virtually, we've been using our Nixle system to advise everyone of the meeting dates. The Nixle is intended for emergency notifications only. So moving forward, we ask that if you are interested in our meeting agendas, it will always be posted on the website along with the link to the meetings. However, we also have a notify me function on our website that you can sign up for, and that will also send you a text message and an email like our Nixle system does. So moving forward, there will not be Nixle announcements regarding our council meetings. However, you can still get them by text or email by signing up by notify me. And the last thing I just wanted to say is I wanted to thank all of the city employees that have been working around the clock to keep our city services working. Our fire, police, DPW, 24/7, our city staff that has been going in on a staggered basis to keep everything moving. I just, we're all in this together, and I just extend my thanks and appreciation to the staff and also the support of the council. Thank you.
City Attorney?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I have no report at this time, but thank you.
Okay, we will now move on to the public participation. Do I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Kendall, motion to open the public.
Second, Eileen Chapman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, the meeting is now open to the public. Members of the public may participate by dialing *9 on your phone to raise your hand in the Zoom meeting. I will either call your name or the last 4 digits of your telephone number when it's your turn to speak. Please state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to speak, and I will give you a 1-minute warning. I am calling upon 3350.
Hi, Ernest
3350.
Signoli, 400 Deal Lake Drive, Apartment 5D, Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'd like to start off by talking about the arrest by the Asbury Park Police of the co-owner of Words. I'd like to know why there isn't going to be a full-scale investigation of someone who's accused of being an ex-priest pedophile working 10 years in Words around our children. And it doesn't seem to be making headlines. And if I'm not mistaken, that place doubles as a lot of things, campaign headquarters. And the person who was arrested actually is a fundraiser for lots of things in Asbury. So why isn't it being checked out? And it's not the first case of accused pedophilia and child pornography on Cookman Avenue. You had last year something with the Et Cetera store. Then the guy on 8th Avenue was arrested by the prosecutor for child porn, sex offenders. We have a large collection of sex offenders registered in Asbury. And yet, all we get is the Twilight Zone about everything. Everything's great. There's no crime. There's no bias hate crime. There's no crimes against children. There's no murders against children. There's no riots at the schools. There's no guns in the schools. It all just gets glossed over, for self-accolades. And I don't think the city's done a great job during this pandemic. I'm here all the time. Nobody's ever called to help me, or nor would they. And I don't expect it either. So let me move on from that. Then my case, 9319, the 2 Asbury officers arrested by the prosecutor. People don't stop in Asbury harassing me, threatening me. Names like Debbie DeLisa, Peter DeLisa, her brother, John and Matthew Crescio, Judy Accarino, Marty Marino, Andy Feldman, Eugene Dello, Dowling, Martinson, Lamuro Law, the fire and policemen, right? And the vandalism and threats keep going on against me, smashing my mirrors, flattening my tires,
1
threatening
minute
me in
left.
public. Thank you. So, and now they want to drop the case, the prosecutor, because Miss DeLisa puts out that, I'm guilty. The cops are innocent. Really. Why don't you check Debbie DeLisa's background out? for drugs and a lot worse than that. And then there's the Kendall incident. Why doesn't the public know that he was let go or fired years ago in the school for abusing children, and he lost his appeals, right? And then now, in February, apparently he hit a kid with an object, and I had to go and get a police report to say it's under investigation. Why doesn't the public know about it? And then the riot out in front of the school, public doesn't know. Then the gun incident that the superintendent decides to take over, right? And then the Asbury principal gets suspended. I mean, everything gets covered up. Like, there's no problems in Asbury. We're just a little sleepy town near the shore. Not really.
Time's up. I am calling upon 5124. Please state your name and address for the record.
No. Melody, hold up a second.
Okay.
Hold up a second. This is maybe something I should have probably said weeks ago, months ago, whatsoever. And I just, maybe I'm too nice a guy. Maybe I'm getting tired of it. I don't give a damn. Mr. McNolly, please, after my comments, come after me. Stop your vengeance to get so many nice people. And you and I are close to the same age. And it goes back to when we were toddlers, when Army Counsel Joseph Welch was responding to Senator McCarthy, a man who bullied, evaded, attacked, and lied. And his response was, have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you no sense of decency, sir? So God bless you. You're entitled to say anything you want to say, but sir, and come after me, stop attacking so many innocent people. You're totally, in my book, out of line, but feel free to attack me. Thank you.
Okay, I'm calling upon 5124. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Rita Morano, 8th Avenue. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. More complaints. I attended a school board meeting on the phone last week. I think I was attending a meeting of the Communist Party. I was blindfolded, I couldn't talk, and I had to send an email. What is going on in this town? What is wrong with everybody? This council should be after that school board. It's part of our town. And nobody attends, nobody calls in, and they only read the emails they like. I think it's a disgrace. It sounded just like a communist meeting, and that's what it was. Then you have the superintendent as president of the Democratic Club, and then you have the board member that's a committee woman in the Democratic Club. I believe that that is really a conflict. They're supposed to be nonpartisan in everything they do. That has to be looked into. Those two cannot be in those two, either the Democratic Party or a committee person. It's not right. What's going on here? You guys should be looking into the computer center, which is not in the budget. It's done outside the budget. It's making money galore. There should be some way that you have to communicate with these people. We all live in the same town. There's no communication. And the other thing is about your meeting. Your meeting is very good, but we're watching all the ordinances on TV now, and I just want to know, was that like a zoning board meeting, or was that just a public meeting on the ordinances, on the second reading of those ordinances? It seems like Fred had a lot to say. It seems to me that Fred had a lot to say. In 52 weeks that he sits there, he hardly says anything, but he did have a lot to say that night. He was acting like Serpico. Stick to the topic. I want to know if that was just the second reading of an ordinance where we could talk for as long as we wanted and tie in other things in the town that go along with that ordinance that you passed. All those ordinances were passed without us being there. That really wasn't right. And they're going to affect us for life. And you'll be responsible for those, I guess. But anyway, and the other thing, I saw that where T&M is getting an outside, their advisors or their consultant. How much are they getting paid for that? Doesn't say. I'd like to know if that went out for bid. They seem to have the city tied up in a knot, T&M. There's other people around that might work cheaper
Time's
than
up.
T&M.
Okay, thank you, Rita. If I missed some of your questions, I apologize. As far as TNM, the resolution site's been withdrawn from the agenda. As far as the city, oh no, let me start first. As far as, was it the second reading of the ordinance? Absolutely, and you or anybody else could talk forever as long as you stayed on the ordinance and we listened and we kept everybody kind of on track as far as the ordinance. As far as the city attorney responding, he has absolutely every right, and I asked him to respond because I need help sometimes keeping people in line. As far as the Board of Education, we have an elected Board of Education, not an appointed Board of Education. So they're a separate autonomous agency that we have no say over. And so I guess your comments then you can take up at their next meeting. And again, I thank you for your comments.
Hey, I am calling upon 0332. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, this is Doug McQueen at 4 Wesley Court here in Asbury Park, and I just have a few comments. One is I wanted to thank, unlike the previous callers, I wanted to thank the mayor and council and city manager for rolling with the punches through all these unusual changes that you've been doing. Seems like you've been doing the best you can. Two, in response to Councilman Kendall's comments about getting more information either from the city manager or the city website, I just wanted to point out that the city website has a COVID-19 information button, but unfortunately when you click on that button for COVID-19 information that could give the most up-to-date information, well, it depends where you click. Some of them have, some of the areas you click haven't been updated in almost 2 months. And the last emergency alert was more than 2 weeks ago. There is good information on there, but some of it seems a bit dated. Finally, for the last part and the main part of my comment, as a member of the Asbury Park Complete Streets Coalition, I just want to say that we think that the city needs to think about creating and maintaining social distance along the beachfront as the weather warms up and as people inevitably come back out and as things start opening back up. Right now, we have the worst case scenario along the beachfront in that we have full parking available on Ocean Avenue, which invites drivers from out of town. We have a closed boardwalk, which forces people who are recreating onto any remaining public space. And we have limited beach access points, which means they act as choke points and force people closer together when we're trying to socially distance. So other towns are doing combinations of things to ameliorate some of these problems depending on their unique needs. And at the Complete Streets Coalition, we think that Asbury Park should consider specifically opening Ocean Avenue, meaning restrict the entire stretch to cars and open it as an additional public space for pedestrians, bike riders, and joggers, and other people that
Time's
might
up.
otherwise find themselves on the boardwalk. Time up.
Yes.
Thank you, Doug. I'm sorry. Melody, you forgot to give him a minute
I did.
warning.
I did.
Okay, no problem. Doug, thank you. As far as the website, thank you for bringing that to our attention. That should be corrected as soon as possible, and hopefully staff will do that. As far as your ideas and constructive criticism, it's deeply appreciated. I've talked to you, I've talked to anybody and everybody and said, look, basically the president's winging it. The governor's winging it, the county's winging it, the city's winging it, and right now there's no such thing as a bad idea. So we're open for any ideas, and it's the idea you're mentioning is something that we have on the table and we're looking at and think, again, we're holding off until we get the guidance from the governor tomorrow, but it's not dead on arrival, it's still out there. And again, I appreciate all you do with your spare time, helping the city with ESTC, and again, taking the time to call me, call other members of the council and say, how about this, how about that? I wish more people would do that because we are open for any and all suggestions. So again, thank you, sir.
I'm calling upon Joe Grillo. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hey, actually, this is Julie. Julie Andriola, and Joe's here too. 521 Cookman Avenue, apartment 201. Just wanted to give an update from Asbury Park Dinner Table. Thank you so much to Deputy Mayor Quinn for mentioning us earlier. Just wanted to remind everybody our pickup points for anyone in need of a meal are every day 5:30 to 6:30 at the Boys and Girls Club at 1201 Monroe, St. Stephen's AME Zion Church at 1001 Springwood, Second Baptist Church on Atkins Ave, United Fellowship Church at 3rd and Emory. As Amy mentioned, we are really excited to be able to launch another distribution point at Robinson Towers this Friday at 4:30 p.m. I just wanted to make a note that the Robinson Towers point is limited to residents of Robinson Towers, Comstock Court, and Lumley Homes. So if you are in one of those communities, if you have a family member there, please feel free to stop by 4:30 on Friday. Also really excited to share that we are partnering with Trinity Church this Saturday for Saturday Soup. That's at 11 a.m. at Trinity Church. Forgive me for not knowing the address. It's the corner of Asbury and Grand. They do that every Saturday, and we're grateful to be able to be a part of it this week. And again, just want to thank everyone for your continued support. Really too many great supporters to name, so I don't want to leave anyone out. Thank you all so much for this. You got anything else? Oh, if you're looking for more information, we are on Facebook and Instagram and asburyparkdinnertable.org. And thank you guys again for letting us be a resource for the community.
1 minute left.
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Julie, and I thank Amy for thanking you. And it comes from all five of us, and every Donna, the entire staff. We thank Kathy, Julie, Joe, AK, who are the four big people, and then all your other volunteers out there. And we thank all the people who donated to you. And if there's any way, I'll leave this up to Donna to answer, if we can get more information out on our website, fine. And I know at one time we were posting this on the electronic scoreboard on Main Street between Sunset and 5th. I went by the other day, I thought it was frozen on just greetings from Asbury Park. So if I'm wrong, that's correct. I apologize, but if I'm right, can we make sure that it's still rotating to give the locations?
Okay, we are now moving on to 0561. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hey, this is Frank Luna with Jersey Central Power and Light. Mayor and Council, I just wanted to drop in real quick to say hello. I was gone for 6 months on military leave, and I'm back working with the company as your representative, and I've been in touch with the mayor and some council members since I returned, but we are doing our best to stay present in the community even during these difficult times. And I will say this, as biased as I may be because I am a neighbor, dealing with a lot of communities throughout Monmouth County, and I'm always beyond impressed with the professionalism, responsiveness, working with the mayor and council in Asbury Park. So I understand you have a lot to do, and I just more than anything wanted to say hello and let you know I'm back in the saddle to work day in and day out to make sure we keep the lights on and keep moving in the right direction. So thank you guys for all you're doing.
Okay, Mike Manziel, do me a favor, do not mute Frank yet, please, okay?
He's not.
Okay, just because I can never do Frank enough justice as far as what he's done for the United States of America. This is a man who put down his career and went over maybe accepted age and volunteered, went through 6 months, and is now part of the National Guard and can be deployed at any time. Frank, just do me a favor. Number one, thanks for all you're doing with JCP now. But give anybody on this call a little bit of what you've done for us. Thank you.
Well, Mayor, I just got back from 6 months of enlisted infantry training with the United States Army. So now I'm connected in New Jersey with one of our units at Freehold, and now we just keep training. And whether I get activated by the state government to help out with something like what's going on with COVID-19, or get deployed with our regular Army unit to a place where there's a ground level conflict, just stay trained up, stay healthy, and do my best to stay in fighting shape, as they say, and see where the road takes us. So I appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you.
Again, I thank you on behalf of all of us. And just so I know, some people know it, before Frank went to training, he was very instrumental in donating many computers to Interfaith, who got him to the Boys and Girls Club and everything, which again is deeply appreciated. And I ever thank you enough. And all I do is wish you good health and thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I am calling upon 6149. Please state your name and address for the record.
Myra Campbell, Madison Avenue. Good evening, Mayor and Council. For 2 weeks now, I've tried to pay tribute to COVID-19 victims. Tonight, I ask you to pray and pause for a moment of silence for the following. Brianna Taylor from Kentucky, 26-year-old. She's a Black female EMT essential worker who was shot and killed after being shot 18 times at night while in bed, by police who had a no-knock warrant. More than 20 shots were fired into the house. Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old Black man, was fatally murdered by multiple gunshots in broad daylight while en route jogging in February in Brunswick, Georgia. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms were found on his body. COVID-19 statistics have revealed Black and brown people are disproportionately affected, those who keep their head in the sand and fail to comply with expertise from known scientists specializing for years to eradicate these viruses need to reevaluate. We will not accept special emphasis placed on part of the city but not the other. That is almost like the disparity between COVID in major cities and opiate treatment programs. For many reasons, the highest percentage of deaths overall target Blacks, Latinos, Native American nations, residents living in high-density quarters, working environments where there is a limited space between workers and low-income voters. Most of these individuals not afforded social distancing. Let me be clear. This virus has crossed oceans, climbed over the highest walls that could ever be built, and has landed in Asbury Park, the city we live in. If you do not fall into one of these groups, please be aware you are expendable also. The great denominator is all Americans are susceptible to this virus. PSA, injecting, ingesting, swallowing,
1 minute left,
or taking any type of disinfectant, bleach, Lysol, can cause death. I publicly requested that the city council that represents us, the city we live in, the city where renters, property owners pay taxes, to take actions by providing PPE, forming a multi-diverse task force to address issues we confront with this virus, getting responses from other shore towns that think AP is doing a great job falls short of what many citizens here experience. Mayor Ed Johnson showed his leadership in the city when Hurricane Sandy struck. I look forward to that same leadership ability. I know I'm running out of time, so other Jersey Shore communities do not have the same demographics as Asbury Park has. It's time to stop coming into the minority communities at election time, talking to Black church members during election time, asking for our vote, but not addressing our needs at other times.
Thank you.
I am now calling upon 1133. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, Felicia Simmons. Just come right after Myra. So I'm here really to acknowledge a couple of deep-hearted felt sorrow of the loss in the last couple weeks of some residents, a young late 20s, Kayshawn McMillan. Most of us know him as Chumsy. He was a security guard in Asbury Park High School. He was a football coach. He was a friend. He died in the last 2 weeks of COVID-19. Recently heard his 6-year-old niece passed away also. Miss Wanda, a family member of our firefighter, Whedon and Coach Whedon. We've had a lot of losses. Miss Kelly from Neptune in the last couple weeks. Our community is hurting. We're sorrow. We're in pain. We weren't on the beach last weekend. We were having a memorial for Mr. Chumsey. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. And when we say the silent prayer at the beginning, it goes out to anybody and everybody, especially in Asbury Park and then throughout the country. And unfortunately, and this is a question we're always asked, like, we are not told by the county as far as, the only thing we get from the county is how many cases are in Asbury Park. We get no names, we get no addresses, we get no, be it race, religion, anything, and because of HIPAA laws and everything else. So at times, like, you just enlightened me as far as other people that I did not know. And so again, you have my home phone number. If you ever need me to be someplace with you to like help somebody through this tough times, please call.
I'm now calling upon 3668. Please state your name and address for the record. 3668.
Hello, it's Polly Shilga at 3668 Fifth
Yes.
Avenue, Asbury Park. Okay. Okay. So I want to thank Asbury Park administration, mayor, city manager for being so receptive to our concerns. Asbury Park and Police Streets Coalition for the last 5 years, and now, especially during this novel coronavirus, it's so new to every city, everywhere in the world, and we're all navigating this thing for the last 2 months, trying to figure out how to go forward. In Asbury Park, we really are unique, as many people say often. Asbury Park is a unique city. We are unique in that we have every issue, every problem that every big city has everywhere. We have every wonderful thing happening. We have music and art, but we also have poverty and right now people affected very adversely by COVID-19. And as we navigate this situation, we can look at some of the ways that we are unique and what our needs are that are different and separate us from other cities. One of which is the waterfront, the ocean front. And as Doug said earlier, Doug McQueen said and stressed that we need to acknowledge the fact that the ocean belongs to everybody, and people from everywhere are going to be flocking to the waterfront as the weather gets nicer. And it's our responsibility to take steps to make people safe, to keep people safe, and yet to allow them to get fresh air and be on the beach, and also access streets in the city safely
1 minute
without
remaining.
fear of being squashed onto small sidewalks, narrow sidewalks, or having to mix in with automobile traffic. So we're advocating for Ocean Avenue to be open to people walking and biking and and navigating the streets without automobile traffic. So we hope that the city will acknowledge that need and really take a good hard look at that, the problem with automobile traffic on Ocean Avenue as we move forward as one of the priorities. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. And as I said to Doug, nothing's been thrown out the window. We're open to all suggestions. I deeply appreciate your suggestions, and please be safe.
I'm calling upon 3510. Please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, this is Maureen Nevin, Deer Lake Drive. And I'm glad to hear that everyone is still in good health and able to participate in the meeting. That's good news. And I agree with whoever it was who said that we're not out of the woods yet. I think that was Yvonne Clayton. It's important to remember that as pressure comes down for everyone to get out and enjoy the things that we haven't been able to enjoy so easily. I'd like to get, Eileen Chapman mentioned the mutual aid network, and I missed the telephone number. I wonder if she could repeat that. And also the free rides for seniors. If you could, no way of contacting them was included in that. If you could repeat those, appreciate it. And I have a question about the PPE order. There's no extensions on the attachment for that. So it looks like there was a whole row of totals that were not struck. So if you would perhaps do that and leave it up there so we could download that again, I appreciate it. And also I have 2 OPRA requests still outstanding, just to remind the clerk's office. And the T&M contract, yes, there is no detail. When I looked up on the website, that's the one that authorizing professional services agreement to T&M Associates for consulting work. Neither document had any ceiling on it or any idea of how it would be priced. So I hope we could get that added. Okay. And I think that's all I have for now.
Hi, Maureen. It's Eileen Chapman. So
one more thing I wanted to add, Eileen, if I could.
Sure.
I want to thank Frank Bruno for his service, please. Eileen?
Yes. So I wanted to let you know that the phone number for the Asbury Park Mutual Aid Network is 732-660-8665.
86. I'm sorry, was that 732-660-86 what?
65.
65. Thank you very much.
Use that phone number either to sign up to be one of the helpers, or if in fact you need help, you can use the same phone number.
Or get help. Okay. Thank you. And the free rides.
So the only clarification, Maureen, it's Amy, is this free ride is for anybody in Asbury over 18. It's not limited to seniors who need essential services like doctor's appointments or grocery stores. And that number, and just so you know, we've shared it at least 5 or 6 times on the city's Facebook page and Twitter account and Instagram. But the number again is 201-939-4242 extension 223.
4242 extension, what was that, 23?
223.
223. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, and Maureen, it's John.
Yes.
As far as I said before, the T&M, was basically a placeholder. That's why you saw no information, and it's not on tonight's agenda. It's been withdrawn. And then your other question, you kind of confused me. So if Donna understood it, I'm going to let Donna answer.
I'm sorry, Mayor, my phone was having a problem. What was the question she had?
And that was about was that about the OPA requests?
Nope.
About the PPE?
Correct.
Right, yes, okay, maybe that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're referring to the bill list?
Yes,
And it was cut off, so what we'll do is we'll repost the bill list.
Oh. Pardon me?
We can repost the bill list. I'm having some technical difficulties and I don't have the bill list in front of me. So we will repost the bill list if something was cut off. That's easy enough to do.
That's how I had requested it. But no, it's not that the bottom was cut off. It's the last row, but it's blank as far as the extensions for each item.
Okay, I'll look into it and we'll post up another one.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Maureen. No problem.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Again, thank you, Maureen.
Okay, I'm calling on 0033. Please state your name and address for the record.
Arthur Schlossbeck, 1043 Summerfield Avenue in the great city of Asbury Park. Just a couple things I'd like to bring up. Rita, number one, I'm sorry there has to be, there is a couple Republicans in town like you, but out of the 10,000 plus school boards there are in the United States, there's Republicans and Democrats on them, and all of them. That's just the animal that it is. The gentleman that was worried about Ocean Avenue and closing it down, and the rest of the citizens in town, we're going to come back. I mean, this has been like less than 100 days, and I know people are getting crazy about this, but it's going to come back. I mean, Sandy, my sister's restaurant, Langosta Lounge, was closed for 6 months. The town of Belmar, the Boardwalk and Oceanfront was closed to pedestrians and vehicles for almost 5 months. We'll get over it. We won't die. Everything will be good. And a lot of people now, dealing on social media, talking about the density in town and not letting the Bennies, and they probably didn't know what a Benny was a year ago, come into Asbury Park. Asbury Park is a beach town. It's always going to be a beach town. It's been a beach town for 500 years, and there's always going to be people coming here to go to this beach. And we need those people to come here. If they don't come here, look like in 1982. I mean, I came to see my friend who was a lifeguard in Asbury. There was less than 100 people on 4th of July weekend, and in Belmar, there's 25,000 people on the beach. And Cookman Avenue had Mr. Fashion. That was it. We have to deal with these people. We need these people. The 14 to 18 weeks of the summer that we deal with this influx, it's not going to kill us. We got the other 40 weeks that we don't have them here, and we just need them. Otherwise, we're going to go down the tubes. I have to bring up the pot thing. My neighbor who works at Jersey Shore Medical Center, she's a nurse. She loves that we're doing this. Everybody, they're doing it in all kinds of towns. There's probably 5 million people doing this in the United States. We're at 7 o'clock at night. You get on your front porch and you bang a pot or clap your hands for 2 minutes. I did it right before this meeting. I didn't get to salute the flag, but I banged a pond. And it makes them feel good, and it will make you feel good. So let Asbury Park show these people that we care about them. And Amy, I might have to run for office if I can sit on my couch the way I am now and eat ice cream and be in the council meeting. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Arthur. And Arthur, it's just anybody else out there in the virtual world. Arthur's been the biggest advocate as far as everybody going outside 7 o'clock and just either clap, bang a pot, do something, and totally agree with him. So let's pick it up, guys. Thank you, Art.
I'm calling on 6176. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. It's Pam Lamberton from Sunset Avenue. Hi, Mayor and Council.
Hello.
First, I'd like to respond very quickly to Ernest. Ernest, you should be ashamed of yourself. You have defamed many good people in this city tonight. That's all I have to say. Rita, concerning the package of affordable housing ordinances that were passed. They're a good thing, Rita. They set guidelines for the future. There's nothing pending right now, but going forward, Asbury Park now has the guidelines that will get us through the housing crisis that this country is experiencing. Thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to the DPW, who's been doing an outstanding job through this pandemic. Those guys are out there every day doing their job and keeping the city looking as neat and clean as they always do. Thank you, guys. One comment about opening Cookman Avenue. There's been talk about that. If we want people to social distance, we need to give them space to social distance. And opening up Cookman Avenue to pedestrians is one way to do that. If we do that, I would like to see something on the west side also, and perhaps a jogging or pedestrian trail could be created, and streets could be closed from like 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning and open only to joggers, runners, and pedestrians. But something to get people outdoors, but spaced apart appropriately and getting a little activity. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Pam. And again, a great idea that we've been kicking around. And again, we like all ideas because we haven't thought of them all, but I totally agree with you. If we're going to do something on the east side, we're going to do something on the west side also. Again, thank you.
Not seeing any hands raised. Do I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Move to close.
Kendall.
Chapman.
Kendall, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Meeting is now closed to the public. We're now on to minutes. I have the minutes of the work session of March 11th, the regular meeting of March 11th, the regular meeting of April 22nd, and the executive session of April 24th. Do I have a motion?
Kendall, move it.
Okay, I will now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton? Councilmember Clayton? Councilmember
Move
Kendall?
on.
Okay. Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I was muted. I couldn't get in.
Okay, Councilmember Clayton for the minutes. All right. Okay, we're now on to individual resolutions. I have resolution 2020-155, which is a resolution approving the payment of bills. Councilmember Chapman is abstaining from 20-00710. Do I have a motion, and please identify yourself?
Quinn, move it.
Yvonne.
Kendall, second.
Okay, I will now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
No.
Okay, we are on to resolution 2020-156, which authorizes the submission of a grant application to the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice grant funding under the 2020 Coronavirus Supplemental Funding Assistance JAG program. Do I have a motion?
Quinn, move it.
Clayton, second.
Kendall, second.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn? Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes. I'm on mute. That's why there's a delay for me. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're on to resolution 2020-157, a resolution amending the temporary budget appropriations for the 2020 budget. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Eileen Chapman.
Second, Yvonne Clayton.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2020-158, a resolution authorizing the purchase of police barricades. Do I have a motion?
Move it. Yvonne Clayton.
Second, Quinn.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We're on to Resolution 2020-159, which is a resolution authorizing the purchase of PPE supplies in response to the coronavirus. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Eileen Chapman.
Second,
Kendall
Quinn.
second.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We're on to Resolution 2020-160, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a police message display. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Quinn.
Second, Chapman.
Clayton.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Hold
Yes.
on.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I have a question for the city manager.
sure.
I have no problem buying this, and maybe you should buy more, but all the broken ones, are we ever going to get those fixed?
So we have 2 that are currently not working. They're currently in DPW to see if they can be repaired or not. And we have 3 others that have already been ordered that should be delivered shortly. So when this one's done, we'll have a total of 5 working, and the 2 that are broken, we may or may not be able to repair.
Okay, but if DPW can't fix them, there's companies that can fix them. So, I mean, these are not cheap machines, so I just don't want to be throwing something away for the sake of throwing it away.
Absolutely not. Agreed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I had the motion and the second. We will now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We are on to Resolution 2020-161, which is a resolution authorizing the purchase of a police speed alert trailer. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Move it. Second, Eileen Chapman.
Now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We're on to Resolution 2020-162, which is a resolution awarding a contract to Millennium Communications Group for cameras. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Quinn.
Kendall second.
Okay, we're on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Okay, we're on to Resolution 2020-163, and I'm looking for a motion to withdraw, which is this resolution, which is authorizing a professional service agreement to T&M Associates for consulting work. Do I have
More
a
moves
motion?
to withdraw. More moves.
Okay.
Kendall second.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman,
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution withdrawn. We're on to Resolution 2020-164, which is a resolution for emergency repair of a pipe at Wesley Lake. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Eileen Chapman.
Second, Clayton.
Okay, we will now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Hold on.
Um,
Question. Okay, question?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the outfall pipe from Wesley Lake to the ocean. So my question is, I guess, to the administration. This is done originally by DEP several times. are we asking them for reimbursement? And if not, and if so, if whatever, are we asking Neptune, since half the lake is theirs and this affects them, are they paying half of this bill down the road?
So, Mayor, we will certainly ask for reimbursement from the DEP, and we will certainly ask for Neptune to put in their fair share. However, this, as you know, was emergent to get it done, so that's why we're fronting the money, but we'll certainly look to get reimbursed from DEP and or Neptune.
Thank you, and correct answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with the motion and a second, we'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're on to Resolution 2020-165, which is a resolution to credit sewer account 3401-21 1108 Emery Street. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Eileen Chapman.
Second?
Second, Moore.
Okay, we'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're on to Resolution 2020-166, a resolution authorizing issuance of duplicate tax sale certificates. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Eileen Chapman.
Do I have a second?
Second, Moore.
Okay, we'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're now on to ordinances. Ordinances for introduction. We have ordinance 2020-17, which is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank with a public hearing date of June 10th. Do I have a motion?
Quinn, move it.
Kendall, second.
Second.
Okay, we'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
The second ordinance for introduction is 2020-18, an ordinance establishing a restricted parking space for use by a handicapped person at property located at 1507 Bond Street in the city of Asbury Park, and amending and supplementing Section 7-36 entitled Handicap Parking, Chapter 7, Traffic of the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Asbury Park, with a public hearing date of May 27th. Do I have a motion?
Quinn, move
Move
it.
it.
Quinn, second.
We will now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
There are no public hearings this evening. We will now move on to the introduction of the municipal budget resolution. We have Resolution 2020-167, which is a resolution introducing the 2020 municipal budget with a public hearing of June 10th. Do I have a motion?
Move it, Quinn.
Second, Clayton.
We'll now move on to the roll call. Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Are there any comments or announcements?
No.
Motion to
No.
adjourn?
Move it.
Move to adjourn, Quinn.
Second, Kendall.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting
Aye.
adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Everybody stay
Thank you.
safe.